screen sharing? Everyone? If you can have the screen sharing there, right? I want to see how actually you work with your drawings. All right? Maybe I have around like 1, 2, 3, like 4. So it's not a full screen, but at least you can see each of your kind of drawings there, right? Okay? Or how actually you work with your kind of drawing using those tablets there. If you're not using those tablets, okay, just like some of your friends, you guys can actually draw right here, okay, based on your reference. Can you guys share your screen, your Photoshop screen? If you can't, it's okay there, right? I just want to experiment whether we can there, okay? Can you? Guys? Can I? Based on your, you are presenting, I'm presenting right now there, okay, but based on yours, can you guys share the screen there? Cannot. I cannot see Rina cannot at least. Yongshen, can you share your screen?
Okay, I try.
Try.
Okay, share. Is it sharing now?
Yes.
So, what exactly am I gonna do?
Okay. Take the photos that from our this week kind of exercise there, right? Okay. This week exercise, not the last week. This week the one there, right? I want you guys to draw the line drawing that based from those reference there, okay? Using those tablets that you have there. Okay, let me see there, okay? With my screen sharing here, there, right? This is not my pictures there, right? Okay, your screen sharing here, there, right? Okay. You saw one of the pictures there, okay? Any pictures that you find that you are going to use, I want you guys to construct those lines based on those photos there, okay? Draw them back, okay? I think you should with 2 photos there. Okay, good, huh? Okay, I want to see how far basically you have developed those understanding from there.
Okay.
Right. Okay, good. Okay, the first step, you know that, right? Okay, reduce the opacity. For the photos there first, right? Okay, those photos that you use there, reduce the opacity there first, right here. Okay. The layers there, okay, reduce the opacity for the pictures.
Sorry?
For the layers there, okay, the layers for the photos there, right, that you use, right, reduce the opacity there first. How to reduce? Okay, unlock this one, okay, reduce the opacity there first. On top of it, the opacity layers there, right, the
This one.
percentage of this one, okay, yes.
Then?
Go into Photoshop there, all right. But there's an opacity kind of,
Oh, opacity.
yeah, this one there, right, reduce a bit more, like 60% maybe there, right. All right, so when you click to the layers there, you can actually see your line and stroke there. Choose this, the brush stroke that you have here, right? What kind of brush that you use here?
Hard round pressure size.
Okay, why don't you try the wait out there, right? Okay. Called Ultimate Pencil Hard there. It's a called Ultimate Pencil Hard there, right? Okay. Okay, the size of the brushes is around 8 size of one. Okay. Try to draw this. Try to draw this. Why there is no pressure, huh?
I'm also not quite sure. My
Did you install the
capacity.
driver?
I install driver.
Yeah.
Is it too blur if I draw with tablet?
You're using tablet there, right?
Yeah.
You can press a little bit. Just now you're using what? Using mouse to draw.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why lah.
I'm trying
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Okay, good, Derek. So for the tablet, Derek, can you adjust the flow first?
flow
The flow up, right? Top directly, 100% first.
100%.
Okay, then size, change right?
Size is 8.
8, okay? Okay, fine, like 8, fine, okay? And start to draw then. Start to draw already. I want to see how it is. Draw one step at a time, one stroke at a time. Don't draw the whole thing already. Try to zoom in a bit. Zoom in closely there. More. Alright, okay then. Draw one stroke at a time there, right? One stroke first. Slowly draw there, okay? One stroke there. One stroke first, and then continue to draw another line there, right? Okay. That's how actually you move your hands. A lot of people make mistakes, okay, guys. You can take a look here, okay. When you draw, you just want to simply draw the whole thing there, right? You want to draw the whole thing, right? Okay, complete all this line, right, as quick as you can. Draw one stroke at a time there first. One stroke at a time there first to complete the whole circles. That's how it goes. Right? Those are the common mistakes. Sorry, that that most of the beginners do when they start to develop those sketch line drawing. Okay? Sorry there. Right. If you want to develop your skills of using those tablets and working with your drawing skills, that can work with your drawing strokes, right? You have to be patient to move your hands when you draw. Okay? You draw this one straight line for the bender directly, for the fender direct. Real fender. Hmm. This week we are going to focus on your drawing strokes and drawing line there, okay? Because I saw uh, most of you there basically when you start to draw using those tablets, they have a very stiff, dirty kind of line there. All right, now if you use this version, this new version CC version kind of Photoshop, you guys can choose either the Carl Ultimate Pencil Hard Pencil brush. All right, this brushes is basically look like a traditional pencil, but it's entirely digital, right? But when you draw the stroke, basically you can get the feel there, the feel of that strokes that you want to develop your line there, right here in the right way. Okay. Okay, Yosheng.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. On the right.
Okay.
Okay, now. Who is it? Yeah, you. Okay, my kind of screen there. Okay, what are the things that you saw, okay, from your friends kind of demonstration just now, right? I just want to see how actually you work at things there, right? Okay? Whether you start to work in the right way or not. Now I'm using 150 DPI there, so that's above by choosing the same photos here, face, right? So this photo is a little bit more bigger there, right? And the A4 size, so I can reduce a little bit. All right, reduce the opacities. Read and map, right? I'm going to add new layers there. Okay, the brushes that feature, even though you can use hard round brushes, right? Okay, but the drawing brushes that you use basically are going to be have different kind of strokes that towards. Okay, so there's a two-way of drawing that you can do. If you saw just now when your friend tried to move your hands right to draw directly, when you want to solve one problem here directly, start to draw like this, fast directly. This is the wrong way to draw. Right. I don't know whether you're going to draw something like this when it comes to draw using pencil. Right? You just draw like this. Right? Remember what I said earlier there, right? Okay? We are not actually trying to trace. We're going to draw them back. See the way I want my hands here. Okay? See the way I want my hands there. Right? One stroke at a time. Use space bar to move. My pages there. Right? Okay? Move the pages there. And controlling the strokes well when I draw. Yeah. Sam, are you here, Sam? Can you respond to me there, right? Are you watching Hindustan in TV3? Oh, Sam?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Just want to make sure that you were in the class there, right? So if you take a look at that, okay, when I move my hands there to draw, okay, and when I actually do some etching later on, okay, this is really the thing that your friend does now want to do or need to do there, right? Oops. Yeah. We basically learn back again to draw. We use the tablets, right, to learn about drawing there, okay, back again. So if I want to repeat the line there, okay, make sure I can repeat the same kind of positions of my strokes there, okay. This is basically one of the way that you can actually develop your drawing line. Okay, one there, right? Okay. Second thing is right, shadings there. Shadings, there's a lot of way to shades, right? This day I'm not going to focus more on that. I'm not going to focus on the shadings there, okay? Because next week maybe you're going to go through with it. So if I want to shade these areas using the drawing line, using the pencil charcoal or pencil hard charcoal or ultimate pencil there, okay? This is how you can control the strokes there, right? Close there. Same goes to this one, right? I'm going to round it a little bit more like this. Okay? One single stroke there first. But not like this. Okay? Press and control the branches well there. Okay? But if you seems want to work with this, what we call that like cross etching, so it's a cross etching for example, there, right? I'm using different kind of flows there to work. See that? These areas are shadows, right? So the shadows came from this area there. Okay, the flows itself, right? The flows of the strokes there. Right? This one, using this different kind of strokes that it works. These areas, right? The position of rendering are going to be a little bit more like this, right? I'm not going to render the whole thing, just to show some indications on the. So I'm going to add some values of tone right here also. See the difference of the strokes there. Alright, even though these areas have to be a little bit more darker there, right? Okay? I'm using different kind of strokes there to work, just to give a bit kind of depth of fields, okay, based on these positions there, if I want to there, right? Okay? All this kind of understandings takes time there to work there, guys. Okay, that's why you have to practice a lot, okay, every day there. Okay, so those are one of the way that we can actually develop our skill to draw. The other way around is using a contour line drawings there. Using the same brushes, using the same size, what I can do, I'm using this kind of contour line, right? Because I saw some of you guys have experienced drawing there, right? Okay, very good kind of practice there. Right. This exercise basically, we not have to press a lot with the line there, right? But we try to adapt the quality of your line when you draw, zoom out, how would you call that? Move around with the space bar there, right? To develop your kind of flows, to get connected with your your strokes of drawings there, okay? This is also one of the good exercise for the beginners to improve your fundamental kind of understanding to draw in the right way. Okay, so for some of you guys who thought that this is first time for you to learn to draw there, right? Try to use this kind of flows of drawings using this continuous line drawing here to develop this kind of understanding to draw with your hands. See, this is like a more like a contour line drawing, this is more like a sketch line drawing. You guys can use both, so you combine both. You can actually apply different kind of drawings or pictures that you work there, okay? But this is the quality of line that we want to improve for this week. Why? Because later on, when we study the basic structures, for example, to draw cars, right? These basic structures of car, basically, if I ask you guys to draw the basic structures, right? To understand the whole form, basically, this is basically the way that actually we draw the structures before we're going to add some details. Okay, before we're going to start those details. This is how actually people actually sketch their ideas like this. Okay? Sketch their ideas like this. Yeah. Okay. That's how they we basically learn to develop our understanding on every structure that we want to draw in the futures. Okay, right? Because if you cannot afford to draw or to develop this kind of strokes of drawings, okay, to develop your first ideas, you're going to mess up. Because you cannot control the line you won't be able to understand how to construct the fundamental kind of baseline or structures for your own ideas or your own drawings there. Okay? All right? So normally we are going to do also different kind of drawing process there, right? Okay, which is we're going to do some sort of like gesture drawings exercise, right? For examples, if, if, if we are going to use this photo as a reference, there, right? Gesture drawing for human being, there, right? If I'm going to ask you just to draw gesture drawings for these pictures, what is gesture drawing is? Understand the whole basic structure that is. The line of actions that we call right before we are going to add all those kind of details there. This is what people actually do, right? Everyone actually can draw well, right? Any professional artist there, you name it who actually, right? If you think that you can draw well, but you're not actually been exposed to use this kind of drawings here, I really recommend you guys to practice like that. Because in the futures, not all the time that we are going to draw the whole thing in details. People want to see whether you can draw or not, all right? Okay? This is a type of gesture line drawing that we have to provide even to develop those ideas. A very quick kind of progress right, on drawings. Right? When people ask you guys later on, okay, I want you to draw, can you actually draw for me how actually people running the right way? For example, there, right? This is how actually we indicate our ideas there, okay? Draw people running there. It's just like a scribbling on the headline, but indicate people running there. People don't have time to wait for you to draw. Hey, draw people running. Do you think that people have time to wait for you there, okay? Draw like this. How many of you guys actually have seek this kind of drawing there, right? Look for this drawing. Always draw this one. But then you erase more. And redraw back again. Remember, right, okay, in reality, client don't have time there. They don't want to see, okay, they know that you can draw, right? They see your portfolios before. But the thing that they want to see, your ideas there. So gesture drawing will save a lot of time to get the basic structures right. And then when you have times, you can go for details based on the structure that you have. But the detail also sometimes doesn't have to be too much detail there. It's more like a graphical kind of drawings there, right? But some of the basically when I was actually studies there, right? And till nowadays, okay, still these days, people who want to draw storyboard for any kind of commercials, right? They look into this kind of drawings. Let me say I want to draw this guy wearing shirts there, right? So you're not actually try to trace them the whole thing there. So very quick kind of understanding on is the he's wearing, okay, maybe jeans there. Right? Khakis kind of jeans maybe, right? I don't know the fashion here. Maybe the so he's wearing the shoes, maybe stickers there. So, but this is not the type of drawing that we are going to look into this video. Okay? Just want to show you guys how it works. Very simple kind of indication on drawings there, right? Using the line and strokes. So basically, our mind kind of main objective for the students, they can really draw like this when they want to visualize things. Those are basically the main objective of most of the lectures. I can say that. When it comes to see how our student who actually can draw. Okay, so how quick basically is drawings is? This is basically a sketch line drawings that actually define the graphical kind of line and strokes to indicate the figures itself there, right? We are not doing hood track there, right? You're not a fine artist there. You're a designer there, right? So that's why designers' drawings has to be looked a little bit more like this. Okay? The line, the quality of line, the volume, the strokes, the confidence there, right? Okay? This is basically our main kind of target to draw, to develop, to learn the skill of drawings there. You want to learn portraits, go to fine artist kind of one. Even though we can, in illustrations, we are going to go through with that kind of particular kind of exercise. But you can see the difference between people who can draw, right? Just like I show you guys, okay, recently, okay, this is a very good exercise that the line kind of exercise works. You can see from Rina there, right? Okay, good kind of examples there, right? It's a very improvement kind of example from Wen Jun, group 3, all right? This is Wiley there, okay? Wiley, okay? I think you have to improve it more on the drawing line. So the line quite clean, but it's looking more like a tracing other than drawing there. Huh? But it's a good start. It works. This is from Oyong there, right? Okay. I think right Oyong can draw basically. So I can't wait to see how actually he going to construct the line using those tablets later on. Okay, it's a good kind of exercise there, right? You can see that he actually have the basics understanding to draw that. Basically, he can draw, right? Obviously, we can see that people can draw that, right? Okay? This one of your friend from Indiana, he also doesn't have the tablet yet. So if you don't have those tablets, don't force yourself to work with those mouse there. So I think my attendance is not yet taken, Eugene. Sure. Oh yeah. Okay. Sham also there, right? Anyone else? Jinlong? Jinlong is it Jinlong? Jin Cheong Jinlong there, right?
Teacher,
Yeah.
my name
You
is Chong
here?
Jun Long. You
Right.
have ticket.
Jinlong, huh? The first one there, right? Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Which one okay, okay, welcome there, right? Okay. Which one okay, the replacement student there? Oh, Yinchi there, right? Sorry, Yinchi there. Yinchi group, which group are Yinchi?
I'm from group 1.
From group 1 there. Okay. run there, right? You see, right?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, guys. Okay, if you take a look, right? Okay, the videos that I brought previously, right? Okay, I know it's going to be a little bit more like quite tedious, quite hard, right? For you to get deep with, especially with this kind of driving deafness there, right? Okay. But I bet you guys one thing. This is one of the fundamental exercise develops a skill for those who cannot draw well, especially when you come to draw using those tablet. As long as you can get the right kind of pressures that works. If you look at your friends just now, there, right, your class right there, okay, when he tried to draw those drawings there, okay, you can actually just try to draw something like this, huh? For example, this is the mistake that people always do, right? Okay, most of people there, okay, they want to draw everything fast, okay, no shortcut, right? Okay, just take your time to move your hands to draw the line there, right? Okay, even though person who can draw like me also takes a little bit kind of time there, but try to continuing the line, use the flows a bit, right? All this kind of what we call that confidence, right? To develop the skills, to move in the right way, it takes time there. It really takes time. That's why for me there, okay, my kind of advice, if you draw once in a while, once a week, they're not going to be changed the way you draw. It will not. Okay? They will not. You have to practice every day there. You have to work hard to develop the skills there. See how actually people do and work on that. Just like monkey see, monkey do it. You're not monkey, right? But there's that knowledge, right? If you seems doesn't have any ideas where we are not to go from there, how actually they do it? For me, right, if you click my hands, I'm really handling the tools well because I have built up the coordination between my eyes hand really well. Right now, what you have to do, you have to be patient there. There is no shortcut way, right, to learn that, right? Unless you're doing using apps. Using app, yes. One single click, everything do it for you. But even though those are our modern era nowadays, you think that everything can do like that, right? Okay? Everything wants to do quick, right? Okay? Remember one thing, guys. Any quick scheme, right? Quick scheme kind of what we call that money making, doing things very quick. All right. It's not all right. It's not all true there. Right? If you ask some people that most of the artists that who actually professional directly, artists, any professional artist other than me, you ask them, is there any shortcut way to learn? Exactly, they'll be to say no. There's no shortcut. You're going to draw, you have to work and practice yourself every day there. Draw every day there. Okay? To get used to it. Because these methods of working, if you can develop your kind of way of working like this, doing the one step kind of positions to develop your design sense or skills there. Okay? That's basically the methods there. Okay? Develop your design sense. See between the crack glasses and also the solid line that I created, okay, to show the depth of field from there, to show the distance there, the difference between the crack glass and also the the entire kind of what we call that glasses that have a very solid kind of stroke there. There's no shortcut way that you work. You ask your family, your friends, okay, or your siblings, there, or your families there, your dad, how to get rich there. Is there any kind of quick scheme there again they can get rich to be success? No, they will say no, right? They will find out. There always be a hard time there again. You have to work hard, work every day to work with them. Okay, those are the things. Okay, guys, you can see the difference there, right? The line, the quality of line that we want to work on that. Okay. Any questions? Any questions you want to throw to me there, right? So, yeah. Just been collapsed. Any questions there, guys? Not yet. Haha. Right. So I bet you guys understand how it works. Okay, what basically we're supposed to develop there for this during this time. I really do that. You focus every moment that you have to see the difference between when you use those tablets, when you control your hands to draw, you feel that pressure is there. Pressure means not the tension there, right? Okay? The pressure means that the quality of the stroke that you can build when you draw them. All right? You build clarity when you draw them. Okay? That's basically the moment. Okay? If you if I want to share my experience, I draw every day, as I told you guys before. Okay? So if you say that I have a challenge before I could draw there, right? I already share with some of the videos, okay, previously. Uh, what kind of drawing basically I have been produced uh, for my previously that I've been produced, okay, when I was like you guys. I don't know whether I have here. Because I'm talking about tablets there, right? Because there are some of the videos that I show there, I think. You can see how actually I draw them back, right? I draw the strokes there, right? Um, so contour line drawing, some of my previous work, okay, there, right? This is basically for my Instagram there, right? My earliest works before basically I enter art college, right? Before I learn formally, right, on the right methods of working there, okay? So if you take a look there, right, the drawing line also doesn't look good, right? Even though some people say when I was high school that I can draw, have a talent there, right? But the techniques that I use is wrong, right? The thing that make a lot of major changes on my way of working. See, like this is when I was Form 4, Form 5 already, secondary school kind of drawings there. Is when I actually learn about this contour line drawings, right? The contour line drawings there, right? The observation line exercise there. That kind of techniques really makes a lot of difference when I actually train myself every day after that, right? To develop those skills, to develop those skills. Okay, guys. So there's no shortcut way for you guys to work. There's no such thing as shortcut way there. So we have to draw every day. So if you take a look at how actually I draw basically if I want to draw basic shapes, okay, shadings there, right? I'm not sure shading like this, circling around there, right? See there, huh? I don't know whether it's very clear or not, right? I'll go to shades, control a bit on my pressures there when I shade there. And circling around the shadings. Circling there, right? They're moving, circling there, right? You want to learn about shadings using those pencils. But the same way basically we can use when you use those tablets later on, when you shades. Yeah. Of course, if you actually have the privilege to do our normal kind of classes sessions, right? You can see more better, right? Okay, how actually I draw the strokes, okay, blending the strokes, right? Not circling, not shadings like this, even in digital already, but using the circling around. If you're using pencils, if you're using charcoals, right? If you use tablet pen, of course, I'm going to be. You use those tablet there, right? For example, using West Point brushes, reduce the flow something 2%, and you paint, reduce the color tone there, right? Okay, and you paint, see? I'm going to circling around here. That's how we paint. Not like this one there, huh? Right. It doesn't work with the form itself. Right. Even though if you use, let's just say you got a square shape like this, right? And then you want to paint. Of course, using square, you can paint like this, okay? Soft level. But some of the areas have the shadings of the shadows there, right? So I have to adjust a little bit on the paint styles there. Okay. See the difference there? Right. If you paint like this, what is this? Can you see the value of tone? No. Right. That's the difference. Right. When you shades there, right? In single we reduce this area to shades there. Like the layers like this. Let's just say that I'm going to paint these areas there, right? I'm going to paint like this. Okay. Soft, okay, change the size. Yeah. Okay. That's the difference there when you paint. Circling around a little bit. Adjust the colors there, tone, size, and right, move back and forth, but control the strokes there. Okay, that's how it goes. All right. Spend a bit more times, right? In some of the areas, I can move around like this, right, for the strokes. But not all the times there. You have to use the strokes, the flows of the structures there, right? Anatomies of the structures that you work with the line itself. Some of the areas have to soften a little bit here. That's how it goes. This part here, right? You can paint a little bit here. This soft kind of line, soft kind of chips. Take the size back again. Adjust the size. This is the shadows a little bit there, right? More darker there from here. You can see the difference there also. You use soft brushes that works, and then you indicate the line back again. A lot of things can be done from here, right? But of course, learn one step at a time, and there has to be patience, patience to it, right? Learn basic kind of methods of working, time to time that you work there. White colors, you can use white colors over here, you can use erasers there. Right? You're going to use white colors, use a very hard kind of line there, right? Yeah. Nice. Depending, right? How actually can construct the line there, right? So those are basically a volume, tone. They will a lot, okay, but you have to enjoy the process of learning one step at a time. But don't only rely on the lesson that we have right here only. And then you start to draw, and you complete the exercise, you close the book. Seek for more information, and by the same time, practice a lot. Okay? Practice a lot. Okay? The key word is practice a lot. There's no such thing as you can actually improve your drawing skill by draw once a week or once in a while. There. Every day, practice your drawings, doing your own kind of personal kind of interest of drawing illustrations using the tool that you have, and try to get those results from there. Right? You cannot jump over, right? Suddenly you jump over into any kind of drawing illustrations suddenly to become like those person that you want, right? If you don't have enough kind of what we call that practice, okay? Practice that. So from the videos, basically, you guys can see the evolvement, right? Okay, from my first drawing or my earliest drawing into the drawing that I have done, right? Since I changed, I've learned the fundamental on working with those techniques there. All right. So anything else there? Anything that you want to ask me, Derek? Rina, do you have any questions?
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir, when we drawing a continuous drawing,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to change. Like the line is become thinner.
Which mean, right? Which part? Okay, because I saw your line drawings here, but okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. But what is it here that you want to ask? The line becomes
The
thin.
actually I changed the opacity
Okay, or you change the
when I give the shading.
oh the shadings. Yes, of course we have to change the opacities lah. Sorry,
Yeah.
the flows. If you can change the flow, it's more better
Sir,
there.
but I'm asking about the line, shading lines.
This one. Oh,
Yeah.
shadings line, the shadings line there. This is
But I saw sir, when sir drawing,
mhm.
continuous drawing, it's become thicker to thinner.
It's all based on my pressures there. Okay.
Okay.
When I draw, there, right? This one there, right?
Yeah.
What brushes do you use? What kind of brush do you use?
Uh,
What type of brush is it?
I think brush. I don't know the name.
Okay, can you share the screen? Your screen.
So I'm using in phone now.
Or for now. Okay. All right. You have to know what type of brushes that you're going to use it.
Okay.
For you using adult CC there, right?
Okay.
CC 2017 or 18 or 19
Wait.
or the new version. If you use the
I'm
same version like
C CS6.
S6
Yes.
or if you use CS6, basically they have this kind of brushes there. If I'm not mistaken, all right. Or maybe wet flow brush. Try to look at these brushes, all right, and then check the list of the brushes there. Right. Last
Okay.
list, you can see the name there again, number 52 there again. Or maybe
Okay.
wet flow brush. So
Okay, sir.
you can see for these brushes basically for CS6 because the lowest version they still have these brushes. The new versions, basically the latest version you have to download now, right? Okay, because they don't actually is using it. Right? Can I use these brushes there when I draw? I just depending on my precious strokes. Okay,
Okay.
the right true word you see, and when I draw. Just look my hands when I draw the right. I didn't press much there. Okay, try to get the flows there. See? Try to get the flows please. That works.
Okay, sir.
You seems to use, let us say you use hard round brush. Yeah, this is the standard brush that you guys have, yeah, right? So most of people will use this, have this brush too. That is I'm using 5%, 5 size I think, and I draw. Same thing. Okay? I'm not actually adjust the flow. I didn't adjust any fact is there. Draw. Alright?
Okay, sir.
You install the driver there, right? The driver for your tablets. Try to get the flows right, Rina. Right?
Okay,
So
sir.
the flows basically will help you to improve your drawings line there, okay? And the pressure strokes there, okay? The line there. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. So those are basically the one of the good things when you know how to do it. Because I know that if there is no problem with your tablets, only the issue that you have because of your coordination like with your hands there, right? My kind of advice is practice every day. Okay, draw anything that you want, right? Even though you seems to think, right? Most of people are right when they want to draw something there, okay? This is what happened to a lot of people's life. You will always assume that when you want to start to draw, you always thought that suddenly you can draw like this, right? A lot of people want to draw like this, okay? Yes, you're going to go through this kind of drawing for digitalization, right? Okay, but for us, I'm going to give you guys an introduction there. But the thing is, right now, can you handle the lines right? Right? Everything is all about handling the strokes and line there. Okay, if you check back again, it's all about how we handling the line there, the strokes and line. This is the picture that I draw, all right? Reference. Everything all about line there. How you get the quality of line before you going to add those kind of detail. Those are the things. So that's why if you have a very good kind of strokes and line, for your works, okay, you can actually coordinate better with your drawing strokes there, okay, with your line strokes. Later on, you want to add those understanding to draw some shades there. Right? I'm using very simple brushes here. I'm not using a very fancy kind of brushes there. So it's easy, right, to work on that because you already indicate the understanding on the working and also learning how to analyze all the details based on the photos that you have, all right, reference that you have there. Okay, those are the things important. Right? Shadings basically is a matter of knowing the flow, adjust the flowing, right? Toning and also lighting there, okay? Lights, okay? This direction of photos, so right, the light came from here. If you check back again, right, okay? If you notice that. Light came from here, the shadow is going to fall off of it basically. What you need to do, you need to indicate the shadows and shades and value of tones then. Learn that from time to time that works. Alright. So if I teach you guys also just to paint without having understanding on the whole structures, later on your fundamental skill is weak there. Right? We want to build up your fundamental skills there. Not only your how to operate the tools. Fundamental skills there. Okay? That's why we use this kind of line drawing exercise to develop this kind of indication of understanding that. We call it analytical kind of studies. But normally, analytical kind of studies, we're having what we call that. For example, I have some sort of like some object in front of me like this, right? Then we study these drawings here by drawing the whole thing in detail. Right? Drawing in detail. Those basically analytical kind of drawings. We pick up some of the objects like leaf, branches, tree, then we draw right in details in those line drawings that is. Those are basically the one of the traditional methods of working with the techniques there. But because we don't have that privilege, I improvise the techniques, draw on top of the pictures, but we're not just tracing them. Obviously, if you saw there, right, this is not tracing. We draw on top of it. You guys agree or not? You can see my screen sharing is not there, right? Okay. And then we share that. Okay, when I actually use those tablets sometimes, most of the time there, right? I rarely actually set the timer because basically it's automatically been set there. So I use a very default kind of what we call it setting there for my works. Okay. This is the best weapon setting up video what I watched before. Yeah, it can be there, right? Okay, but if you think that, alright, but you can actually use them, right? Okay? But if you ask me, uh, what we call that, frankly, directly, truthfully, directly, I didn't actually change a lot on my setting. I'm using the standard setting, that default setting. Okay? But if you think you want to test code it, okay? As long as you can actually get the feel, because sometimes some people I don't know, okay, but some people they love to set a custom for them, right? I basically I don't, right? Because I don't actually relying on, for me, I don't actually relying on the custom setting basically. Right? Because if you check at the work that I've done already, basically it's a very standard brush because I want to make the process of learning as simple as I can. Even though it's look sometimes some people say it's really hard to draw this kind of line. And they say this is the way that I draw, but it's not. And learn also from other people there. Every art school also been teaching the same methods there, right? Of working with the line drawings there, right? So that means my kind of understanding experience. Basically, I've also have experienced the same way of what you've done, but the thing is, yeah, I try to combine the, the the learning experience that I had before with my practice there, okay? The way that I practice it, okay? Okay? Oh, yeah, I can understand, okay? If your tablet is quite old but it's not actually work well, maybe that, okay? Maybe you have to set it, okay? Normally what I have my situations when I use the tablet more than I think on 7 years, okay, suddenly they break, okay? They actually not actually work according to they not actually work anymore. So I have to throw away this tablet. I just throw away this tablet and buy a new one. I don't have this choice there, okay? I don't know how to repair them, right? So this suddenly happens to me. If you can actually work like they change the custom setting, whatever it is good. It's good for you to explore the idea. So my kind of case is why I do not do have the custom because last time I have also a few kind of custom brush that I actually installed there, right? Seems right now the brushes doesn't work. Maybe I have to upgrade those new versions there, okay? Maybe using CS maybe. Around CS version, this is a Photoshop 7, I'm not mistaken. So from CS kind of versions until the new one and all, okay, it has a lot of effect custom brushes that really nice, right? To use because what I can share, if you can, I don't know whether I shared with you guys before. If you take a look at some of my previous work, like which one? Some of it I'm using very standard brushes. Can't remember the okay, this one. Okay, it's more than okay. But if you take a look at the brushes that I use for this illustration, right, they have a number kind of custom brushes. Is really nice that you use. Really nice that you like a watercolor, drip and splat brushes that I use basically for my illustration. I don't know if this one have or not. Right? This is almost a standard brush. This illustration basically is more like a standard brush there, like textures, uh, rough from Bristol brush. This one I'm using all the wet flow. I use a lot of textures, right? Not much, not much. Mm. I do it again. Okay. This one, not much there, okay? Not much of the brushes there. But I mixed that with the collage, with the 3D collage a bit, right? Some photos combined with some of the drawing that I did for using Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Animate or Flash, line drawings, some textures, brush like part charcoals, combine them together there. So mixed up with the 3D elements a bit, more line drawing, to mix them up there. Right? That's it, right? Right. So using some lot of sometimes overlay, multiply, color, burn, depending there, okay, on how I should get to portray those drawings there. Right. So some collage kind of drawings there, okay. So basically, it's really fun for you to explore, right? Which one the tablet there? Oh, these are the old one there, right? Old one there. Still using that, right? Okay. But you can get the prices right there, right? You still can get the prices, you see. Let me check actually whether you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So you have to be improvised a little bit, lah, right? You can improvise a little bit there. The way to work with your tablets later on, right? There basically it's a challenge, lah, right? But trust me one thing, without those tablets, using mouse, I won't be able to design any kind of illustrations nowadays. It's really impossible for me, right? So that's why tablets is one of the main kind of device for any designers nowadays and illustrators. Okay, guys? All right, Yinchi, thank you very much for sharing your kind of situation, so we can actually understand what is going on, what are the circumstances, what are the challenges sometimes, right? Okay, if you use the old version of tablet there, I have previously I have used, okay, if I want to share the the first welcome tablet, the first generation. I'm using basically one of those is based from here. This is my first tablet that I bought from Singapore there, around 1000 something at the time. So 1004 particularly. So we have to import from Singapore there at the time. So this is the first version that I use. The second is the third one that I use from our computer labs. Right. This one I saw some of the students actually buy before. My friend has buy before. I'm using also this one before, right? This one I saw some of the students have buy other than Yunji, right? But I'm not recommending you guys to use. I have also used first generation bamboo. I have also buy this one. I have this one before. I'm using this one. I used it around 7 years. But that the pen doesn't work again, but it had a connection. Maybe because of because there's a few times basically they drop the pen already and I'm using them. So I'm using this one also before. Hui on basically is quite reasonable price and also recommended for the students. It's quite cheap. Right? And so it's very reliable also. Right? I'm using also this one before that I sell to my friend because he need to learn to draw the right. using those tablets. And now I'm using this one there, right? And also I have another one that I actually use for my mobile directly. And this one directly. This is the one that I use right now for my mobile directly. This one, sorry, this one. This one I'm using in my bag right for any mobile kind of works. Right? Around 300 something. It's around 300 or something there. It's not that cheap, but Hui On basically is quite cheap. You compare the Hui On there, right? Tablet pen. The price not bad, right? Only 28 ringgit there, right? 28 ringgit dollars there, right? It's still cheap there. It's time for. And you got also some sort of like glove, right? To draw to we call that protect you from your wet hands. Like some people have a wet hand, right? It's quite nice, huh? Right. This version thing. I've seen and I try to use for the students before. Right? Maybe in the future I would buy them for my kids, like, okay? But they also need to learn about this kind of things, right? Okay, guys. Glove is for to protect your hands from getting you have a wet kind of call that. You draw directly for some time there directly, whether it's hot, wet kind of fingers directly to protect you from that. Right? Just like when you use those, it's a disciplined kind of look of drawing when we actually used to draw on charcoal basically. A lot of artists also traditionally use that kind of thing, but I didn't use them. I'm a little bit kind of love to do everything quite quick already and ban a little bit kind of the rules that there's some discipline already that I didn't actually use to have the proper kind of setting for my works. But is it good for you have this kind of device that you work your process of learning because it give you guys more kind of like a feel of get ready to engage with your learning process. It's good, right? But all this kind of device, all this kind of privilege that you guys have, you don't push yourself a bit more, there's no point. Tell me that. Right, there's no point there. I saw some of my friends, normally even us also, okay, when I was learning also, like you guys, I don't have any privilege. Okay, we have to share the computer lab, right? The only thing that I have privilege to use my computers when I go back to my hometown there. Okay, maybe once a week they may be there. But we don't have also those tablets at the time. So I'm relying on those sketchbooks that to draw, scan them back, draw and trace them back, and then those AI that to works. Right, there's a lot of hardware there right now at the time that they were. Nowadays, everything can be used working with digital there. The only thing that you have to challenge is the way that you're going to coordinate between your eyes, mind, and hands together to get the right kind of flows. Okay? Okay, guys? So, any questions so far? Our exercise are going to be around 16 drawings at the moment. Don't delay those exercises. If you don't have those tablets, don't stop you to practice using sketchbooks that to draw. Don't wait there. No point using your mouse to do this exercise because if you use mouse to work with this exercise, the entire process of the main kind of purpose is not achievable. Okay? 16 is not enough basically. If you compare, you want to draw every day. All right. Because I practice myself, okay, when I was like you guys, okay, what I have in mind at the times, I want to be good from other people's point. Even though there's a lot of people who are better than me, I want to make sure that I can give the best that I can for myself. Right. So we practice every day. I will find one or two friends who can actually click with me, okay, because we actually stay at the hostel there, right? So what we did every night, like even though if my friend actually want to go somewhere, lepak or whatever it is, right, we socializing, I will spend at least 2 hours or 3 hours every midnight, practice my drawings, draw from other people's artworks, find comics, reference, whatever that I find, practice them. Those are the cultures that we have back in the days. For you guys, your culture is everything in YouTube that you can get online there. You want to motivate yourself, you have to find a way to motivate yourself. I'm the one, maybe I can get this kind of sharing sessions there, but you need to provide your own motivation. You have to be good at it, go for it, work hard on it. If you think you want to need some advice or whatever it is, direct message to me. The best thing there. Show me your line drawing, show me your progress, don't be shy. I will give you guys those sessions. Alright? Because illustration drawings is the core kind of skills that will provide you the methods how you're going to visualize your ideas there. You ask Yin Chi there, I think. If I'm saying wrong, maybe Yin Chi can actually give a bit more kind of clear understanding. Is it right, Yin Chi there, I think? Alright. Because drawing illustrations, right, they will give you guys some privilege to develop or to show people your ideas in a very quick way. People don't want to wait a lot of time to visualize one idea there. Finalize your ideas differently, right? Okay? But when it comes to develops your ideas, you have to find a quick way to develop that. Either you get some reference, put on those templates, and then redraw back again, or you can actually manage to compose them back using image manipulations that you learn from this one to visualize your ideas to people there. To get the early ideas. Don't let your client give you guys ideas there. Even though you can actually share the ideas with them. But if they actually try to control whether you can do or not do, they're going to become trouble. I have these few kind of clients there. But by the end of the day, they have to admit we actually also, they hired us because we are professionals. Even though professional doesn't mean click happens there. It's not like that. It's that we are not actually magician there, right? Click, we can actually work on that, right? But the process of making it, they will see how the process of working, right? From develop the ideas, discussion, the way that making it, and then you show them the progress, you show them the reference, the subject matters that develop the ideas there, and then you build up those kind of design from scratch until they complete that. If you can actually provide all this kind of process that you will explain to your clients, that then we will see, oh, design is not that easy there. If you spend 1.5 years right here to learn about this kind of process lah. People look that your works is easy there, right? When when I actually show you guys some of the things that I've done there, right? It look like easy kind of do it. Everyone can do this kind of things. When you experience them, then you will find, oh, this is how it's going to be worked there. That's why when people actually learn all this kind of study multimedia takes quite a lot of time there. Not more than learning doctors, right? Doctor 7 years ago. but I have one of my god brother there. They take this what we call that sports science therapy around 7 years there, right? Diploma only there, right? But not a degree there, right? It is very quite long sports science there right now. He actually want to join our we got a multimedia new media canal, but his mother actually doesn't allow that. But I say it's okay. You learn whatever that you like. Sport also is part of his kind of passion that day, but you have to do more. Like you have to read a little bit, right? And whatever that you want to do, just sort of search there from there, right? But you also learn anatomy there, right? So that means whatever that you're going to do, make sure you build up this passion from there. Okay. All right. So thank you very much for having me today. All right. Thank you very much there. So thank you also Yankee to having me to join our class today. Okay. Hopefully you can actually show more potentials on your way of working for this semester therapy. So that means you have to be more, what we call that, more concerned, right? Okay, on your works, right? Each one of you guys also the same thing. Right? You have the privilege to develop the skill from here, right? Don't feel hesitate. Push yourself from there to work with your skills that you have. Combine them. Don't compare. Combine them, right? If you start to comparing, okay, this drug is more better than this one, right? You won't be able to level up yourself. Right? I don't like to compare. What I do, if I know that person can draw more better than me, I find another way basically to draw, right? To present it well, right? Because I know I can compete with these things, with this guy that is king. I find my way only, okay? But the way that I just choose also acceptable. Because illustrations have different kind of way to approach. You have to understand which approach that will be effective with you. But at the moment, right, don't choose the right. Okay, don't choose whether this kind of styles is suitable or this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this style. I don't like, it's not like you choose a fashion, right? Okay, or a car, right? Okay, this is basically a fundamental that you have to build up your strength right here, right now, and then later on, you choose. If you cannot build up your strengths here, fundamentally, there's no point there, okay? You won't be able to develop right, okay? So what I teach you guys, what I actually introduce you guys, is to build up your fundamentals, your core, not basics there only, okay? Core there, okay? I mean, you have a strong core, you can go wherever you want, hopefully. No, but you have to keep on practicing there. Okay, guys, thank you very much for having me today. All right. So thank you, okay, for the Saturday kind of classes that I've been. So I have to, we can actually dismiss earlier. All right. So hopefully you guys